Ah!
Okay.
Yep. Hello guys, and today we're going to build a mountain bike on a budget. A hardtail dirt jumper sort of do-it-all bike. I'm actually saving up for an all-mountain bike right now and decided that I might as well have fun and build something cheap. So if you're building a budget mountain bike, hopefully this can help you out. You can follow along, and if it doesn't help, hopefully you at least find it interesting. Well, step number one is selecting a frame. You have to select a frame first so you can have the other parts to build around it. Craigslist is your secret weapon, particularly if you live near a populated area. If not, then eBay. But I live in the suburbs of Denver, so I've got it pretty easy on Craigslist. After only 2 days of looking, I found a $20 frame with not so old geometry. Sure, it was covered in gunk and probably about 15 years old, and from a brand I had never heard of, but I didn't really care about that. After all, I was just looking for a bike with good geometry. But this thing was covered in gunk. I don't know, I think it was stickers or tape or something, so it took me quite a while to get all that gunk off, but once I did, she was shining like a champ. Next, I decided I was gonna go ahead and get the wheels, and then build from there. So, I actually decided to go with a new rear wheel that I got from a local bike shop. I just wanted something a bit stronger since it was a hardtail and I'd be taking it off of jumps. But that didn't cost much, and with the combination of another $20 wheel I found on Craigslist, it only cost me $60 for the wheel set. Next was the fork. I was actually able to pick up a fork that was about 15 years old and actually pretty good during its day. Unfortunately, it was seized up, so I was taking on a project in the meantime. Actually, right here, this is the lockout switch, and it was locked in position, and it actually wasn't seized. The lockout was just malfunctioning. So my advice would be, don't forget about your local bike shop when you're looking on Craigslist and eBay. If you do everything right and you're patient, you're bound to find a good deal. Later in the day, I received a package from Jensen USA that I had ordered previously.
Big old bag.
Hydraulic disc brake. So I already had a stem that was worth about $10 from Amazon, but also I was able to get this handlebar and hydraulic disc brake along with an adapter for only $53 from Jensen. Now, since I was going to be learning dirt jumps on this bike, and it does seem to be the norm to only have a rear brake in the back, I decided I would just start out with a rear disc brake on this bike only. And then if I wanted to upgrade, it would only be about $30. So the next day I received possibly the cheapest crankset ever made. I found it on Amazon, a crankset and bottom bracket, for only $40. And I've run this crankset before on my other bike, now my wife's bike, and it's actually pretty solid. I don't have a complaint to date. The narrow-wide chainring that I ordered had a weird name.
Does that say snail on it? It says snail. Why would you, in a sport where people are trying to be fast, would you name a product or your brand snail?
This stuff came wrapped in Chinese newspaper, which is a first for me. Unfortunately, something did go
I
wrong.
think they sent me 2 rights. Which doesn't work.
Sent me 2 f***ing rights! Why? Yeah, they sent me 2 right cups to the bottom bracket, so I had to run to my local bike shop to get this race face one. Also, this race face crank came with these plastic spacers. And I actually ended up using the metal spacers from the cheaper bottom bracket. I decided to use the metal spacers, that way there was no chance of any of the lube breaking down the plastic. I'm sure Raceface and Park Tool have thought through this, but better safe than sorry. With the new bottom bracket, the crank installed as standard. No issues there.
That's what you want.
I forgot to mention that I also had some really cheap grips on hand, but I really suggest just going out to your local bike shop and buying grips that feel good. At this point, I'm almost tired of getting packages, but I managed to find some good tires at a local bike shop. I chose this more knobby tire for the front one, and actually decided to install tubes since I was going to be running at such a high pressure I was unlikely to get pinch flats. After installing the rear tire, I was really glad I had an extra seat post clamp as I ordered the wrong one.
Oh no.
And I added anti-seize to the seat post as I've been doing that for a while with no adverse effects. I managed to fit the single speed on without a chain tensioner. All you have to do is really measure from the middle of the teeth on each cog, account for the angles, and get the right chain, and you should be good. This was a bit of a frustrating experience for me and left my desk in a total mess. But after I was done, the bike was complete. So I took the bike next door, down just a few stairs, checked the tires, make sure everything wasn't going to fall off the bike as soon as I took it out. So overall, I was really happy with the build. Even after I ran over a cactus, everything seemed pretty okay with the bike. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I managed to take $250 to $300 and build a pretty decent hardtail dirt jumper to learn on. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like it, subscribe. Please comment down below with any questions or parts. I'll be sure to let you guys know. Thanks.
Let's go see the perpetrator. So I came up here and I was like, yo! And I hit that straight on. It doesn't look like there's too many of them. Just little things.